start us off.
Hey, Hunter, as a tight end, especially for the Chargers, I mean, you do a whole lot from inline to flex to sometimes in the backfield. I'm just curious, when you're beginning to study film for your upcoming opponent, what are some of the first things that you key on? Is it when you're in line, you're working from, the defensive line to the second level, or you're worried about safeties and their alignment when you're flex? Just how do you kind of take that step by step to prepare for your next opponent?
Yeah, it's obviously we play a complicated position where you have to look at everything. So I think early in the week, obviously you just you look at the overall scheme of things. You look at fronts. You look at how they're going to play things against different things that we're going to run. You look, and then I look at the scheme usually for a while. Then we go out on the field, and I like to see it. Obviously, going against the scout team, seeing different ways how it's going to look. And having that translate over. And then, I begin to look at guys, obviously, right? The guys that we're going to go against, different moves they have, different ways they play in the run game, in the pass game, at defensive end, and then look at guys that are going to play man, right? So look at different coverages and look at the guys that usually you're going to be matched up against.
And one of those guys this week, if he's not sidelined with an injury, might be Miles Jack. He's probably one of their most athletic defenders. What have you seen from him so far on film?
Yeah, obviously, really, really good player. He can really, really run. He's confident, flies around. Instinctual player. He's gonna, be ready and be fired up. And so you got to be ready to go, be ready to, make plays. He'll be ready to go. So if he's out there, he's definitely a great player, and we'll have to be ready for him.
All right, thank you,
Fernando.
Hey, Hunter. Coach was talking about how you guys did a self-evaluation. What have you? What did you? How did you feel like you guys as a whole played the first 5 weeks of the season, and what can you guys improve on?
Obviously, we didn't play well enough, but I think there were obviously some positives to build on. And so, coming off that bye, I think everybody's been pretty locked in this week. And I think everybody's pretty fired up to, have another opportunity to go out there this Sunday and kind of get this thing turned around. And that just takes week by week. We just got to start, taking it week by week. And this week we need to go 1-0. I think that's the biggest thing. But we've executed, I think, in the passing game, early on in the season, the first two games, I felt like we ran the ball really well. And honestly, we weren't passing it probably the best we could have. And then it kind of flip-flops. We haven't been able to run the ball as much the last two or 3 weeks. And we're passing really well. So I think if we can just complement each other and play like a complete game where we're able to run the football and throw the football well, I think that'll be huge for us.
Do you feel like you guys picked up the scoring from the first 2 weeks where you guys kind of had low-scoring games, and then it seems like you guys have gotten a little bit more comfortable, and it feels like you guys are scoring the football a lot more consistently now?
Yeah. I think, we're hitting some explosive plays. And I think that goes back to your last question. I think the biggest thing too, one of the things we are, need to do is sustain more drives, sustain longer drives. We're sustaining some, but we're also hitting some big plays that, it's like boom, boom, and we're scoring. We need some drives where we're sustaining them, especially in the second half, especially when we've had these leads. We need to sustain drives and keep our defense off the field and kind of, put, our foot on the throttle a little bit, just continue to hammer down a little bit in that second half and sustain drives. We have too many 3-and-outs, I think, the last 2 weeks, especially in the second half. So sustaining those drives, and I think everybody's getting comfortable. Justin's getting comfortable. We're all getting comfortable with Justin too. So, that's been huge. I think that's also why we've had some success scoring points.
How do you feel like the Jaguars? You guys faced the Jaguars last year late in the season. How do you feel like their defense has changed from last year to this? Obviously, they're missing Calais Campbell, Yannick, and Mbappe. So how do you feel like they've changed other than those moves?
Yeah, I mean, they still have a lot of talent up there, and they've drafted guys that they've put into different places that are really athletic and make plays. So it's a tough defense. It's a defense though that we go against. A similar style. So we've seen the looks, and obviously we've played Jacksonville these last couple of years. I feel like 3 or 4 times I have, and so we've played them. They're kind of a little bit of a familiar opponent, even though they're not in division. We've played them a good amount. So I think that helps us in a way, but they're different, but they're still very, very talented.
And last question for me. Your shirt says block, release, and what else?
Block, release, catch, and spike.
Is that kind of
National
like
Tight End Day this weekend, baby. Big
thanks?
day.
Emmanuel.
Hunter, how have you seen Jalen Guyton and Tyler Johnson grow, and how their speed helped their offense?
Yeah, it's huge. It's I saw those guys last year, and they started to come on for us towards the end of last year, and really have continued to progress every single week this year. It's been really, really cool to see just their progression, them making plays in games, and then obviously you guys seen their speed. I mean, it's really helps our offense a lot that they're making plays and getting past the defense and just threatening them. So it helps all of us underneath, especially. So we appreciate them, and I'm excited for them just making plays and showing what they can do.
Cam.
Hey, Hunter, thanks for making time for us. Hey, I want to know what part of your off-season training has been most effective for you thus far in the season?
Ooh, yeah, there you go. Good question. I think I got a lot stronger, just lower body wise and different kind of aspects that just have helped me hold up, at least run game wise. I'm feeling very strong, and just I feel like that's helped translate over to some of my run game, and blocking. And obviously that carries over to running routes, different things like that. But I think I did a lot of sled work, a lot of lower body, a lot of deadlift to try to just build strength in my lower half. Obviously build strength in my upper half too, but my lower half was huge. And obviously I've dealt with some injuries. So just trying to keep myself on the field, but also effective when I'm out there.
I didn't want to touch on that, but does that make you feel more comfortable and confident when you're out there playing to avoid the injuries you suffered over the past 2 seasons?
Yeah, man. When I'm out there, man, I'm not scared of getting hurt or anything. I mean, I'm confident. Obviously I've dealt with some crazy ones, and a lot of the injuries I've dealt with have just been kind of some freaky injuries. ACL, a broken bone on a hit, just stuff that kind of sometimes is out of my control. I just worked hard though to be available, and that's continuing to be my goal, is to be available for this team every week.
Hunter, you had one game under 7 targets this season. What do you attribute that production to? Is it you're working off season?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it's that, but also just continuing to come to work every single day and try to improve myself, and show it for this team, in practice and throughout training camp, and just show that I'm reliable, that the quarterbacks can trust me, that the coordinator can trust me, the coaches can trust me. So I got to continue to do that. And every day I come in this building, I try to, prove that.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, last one, Hunter. Rashawn, go ahead.
Hey, Hunter. You kind of alluded to it earlier with, you guys not really sustaining or having a lot of long drives. You've been excellent in the red zone this year, but you haven't had very many opportunities. I guess kind of twofold. Like, how do you view that? And then also, what has allowed you guys to be so successful in the red zone?
Yeah, I think sustaining drives. I think it starts with early. We've been pretty good on third downs. We've been able to execute, but I think it starts on first down, especially. First down efficiency is huge, and we gotta be better on first down, especially when we run the ball. I feel like we're getting behind the chain sometimes, and then we're sitting at 2nd and 12 or 2nd and 11. Gets you behind a little bit. So we just need to be efficient in the early downs just to continue to kind of mow that clock and mow the ball down the field. And then when it comes to red zone, that's a place where you have to make plays. It's a tight area. We have some big bodies on this, when we get down there with Keenan, Mike, myself, Donald just got in the mix. And so there's Verge. I mean, there's big guys down there, and you kind of have to be big when you're down in there. So, and then Justin's starting to, trust those throws, because it's tight window throws when you get down there too. Everything's condensed when you get down the red zone, and we're continuing to get better, and I think that always helps. I mean, we got to score points in this league, and that's our goal this weekend.
And as far as Justin, what have you seen that's allowed him to be so good against the blitz this year?
I think, man, how big he is, that helps always. I mean, 6'7", whatever, 240. He could see everything on the field, even when guys are in his face. So, he's a tough kid. Also, he's very athletic. Escaping the pressure is huge. We haven't. That was kind of a little different for us. I think, receiver, tight end wise, was just kind of it plays that are extended, past outside of the pocket and different things like that. So, he's able to extend plays and he's big. So, and obviously his arm talent's very special. So that always helps when you're going against pressure.
And have you guys thought much at all about, obviously the losing streak is what it is, but the fact that you still have yet to win one in SoFi, has that been a thought at all?
Not a thought, man. Not a thought. We just want to get a win. It doesn't matter really where it is, but definitely being at home this weekend, getting a win this weekend would be nice.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thanks for the time.
Good. All right, guys.